When I think about Smith & Wesson, or when many people actually think about Smith & Wesson, they start to think about revolvers. And for me to take that a step further, I start thinking about hunting opportunities, because that's primarily what I use my revolvers for. And then that has me thinking about the big X frames, that 460 and the 500, and what they do and what they allow me to be able to accomplish in a lot of different situations. So when I was in a recent conversation with Smith & Wesson, they said, hey, we're getting ready to release the 350 Legend in an X frame. What do you think? Are you interested in spending some time in the field with it? My answer was immediate: absolutely, can't wait. You know, looking at the 350 Legend, I knew about it, but I didn't know much about it. I was really intrigued by it because I was going to be able to learn a lot more about something new. I needed to understand what the ballistics capabilities were. I needed to start studying the bullet weights. I wanted to understand what my particular handgun would be able to accomplish, how it would perform in the different situations, which means going hunting and spending time on the range.
Well, just like Wade said, after spending more time at the shooting range, it was time to get settled in a blind.
That's our guy. Here he comes. Coming straight in. Pretty still this morning. It's really a nice opening morning day in Texas. It's probably 55 degrees. We saw a nice buck. Came out early this morning. Stayed down there by that mesquite. Kind of worked his way along that creek edge. Got a little spooked and took off. Ran up the other side of that creek deal. We haven't seen anything else at all.
After this nice Texas hill country buck disappeared from view, no other deer showed up along the creek bank. The next morning, Wade was back in the same blind before sunrise for another chance at testing out the Model 350 Legend handgun.
That's all me. I mean, how that goes down was pretty amazing. You know, there's a big field over here, and we're trying to get these deer coming out of this creek bottom, going to that field or coming from that field. And he got out there at about 18 yards and started hitting on that block, but he was facing right at me. I just don't like that shot unless I've really, settled in and trying to get moved into position with all those does and that other little buck that were over here. They saw me, heard me. Heard the gun cock. I moved at the wrong time. It might be personal now. We may have to figure out how to get that deer right there, because he put on a show for us. That was, if you like to deer hunt, that was a heck of an encounter.
We were kind of down to our last morning, and there's been a lot of days we've had success on the last morning, and there's a lot of days we just ate our tag. And so as we sat down there waiting for sunrise, we were pretty confident we might see the same deer again, but being able to get another shot that's a totally different story.
Did you miss? I think so.
I totally whiffed. All that practice, all that experience, and a miss is still going to happen. So you can have the best handgun that Smith & Wesson can make. You can get the best ammo, have a cool blind, but you got to be able to control those nerves, control the breathing, and execute at that moment. And I simply whiffed. And that is hunting. I do it a lot, and I'm okay with it. And we'll practice more. We'll get better with it. And that 350 Legend will bark again, and we'll see something down very soon.
As fate would have it, soon came sooner than Wade anticipated. Let's see how the Model 350 Legend performed against some wild hogs just a few days after Wade's whitetail hunt.
I'd say the 350 Legend smacked that one. That one came in 12 yards, 10 yards out there, and we put the whack on him pretty quick. I mean, just dropped him like a rock. And part of this for me with this 350, I don't have a ton of experience with this. I started reading about the cartridge. I started trying to learn about it, why it was developed, what it was for, just literally in the last year, and really spent a lot of time in the last 2 months learning more about the ballistics of it, what it would do, what it wouldn't do, how it would handle, and why it came about. And I'm impressed. I'm really impressed for this type of cartridge, for what it does. Obviously, this X-Frame 350 Legend here from Smith & Wesson is going to be a fun one for everybody to shoot. I'd say I hit him right where I was aiming. Her. Turn the other way, that's going to be the exit. Right there. That's the exit wound right there on it. Feels good to hit one right exactly where I'm aiming after I whiffed on my whitetail here recently. We've been field testing this 350 Legend. Hunted several days for a whitetail, and I mean, I totally whiffed him when he came in, but we wanted to get some more rounds through this thing on different pieces of game, and I actually shot this. She was facing that other side right there. I mean, that's my exit wound, and it's right where I was aiming. And I mean, that 350 Legend blew through that thing, both shoulders, and dropped it in its tracks. Now, it's not a big pig by any means, but I think this cartridge is going to be designed for medium-sized game, whitetail, to pigs like this, antelope, a variety of exotics, and we're going to put it through its paces and see what all the cartridges will do. I think we'll get this one loaded up and take some pictures.
Well, Wade, you may not have harvested your buck on opening weekend, but culling the wild hog herd more than makes up for it. After hunting with the Smith & Wesson Model 350 Legend and seeing for ourselves just how hunter-friendly it is with its minimal recoil and unrivaled knockdown power, we know this is going to be an exciting gun to keep shooting in the future. To add the Model 350 Legend to your arsenal, shop online at smith-wesson.com.